Everybody who doesn't smoke weed is a fool. Weed is so great for everything. Good for your brain, good for your digestion, good for your sleep, good for your muscles. This is great. So obviously, if you don't smoke weed and don't like it, something wrong with your mind. In fact, I think we should lock you up in camps and re-educate you on the great benefits of Mary Jane. Now, this is the mindset that is created by the devil. Americans love to talk about Nazis and how bad the Nazis are. The National Soviet Socialist Republic of Germany. And meanwhile, these people don't believe in the same socialism that Hitler believed, because Hitler was very direct, he was very open. The Fabian socialists, which modern liberals are basically a good representation of, or followers of, the Fabian socialists believe in the feminist, the female, feminine method of takeover, which is subversion, doing it in the dark, doing it secretly. Not so much, we are the master race openly. No, it's more like, oh, the poor this, the poor that. We're great because we have suffered a lot, kind of like the history of the Jews or the history of many different races, supremacist kind of movements. So when the Bhagavad Gita says, when you follow the world or become attached to the world, it leads you to a progression of negative emotions that end up in you creating a false self and being trapped in its delusions. That's what happened to the Nazi Germans. That's what happens to every group of people who believe in group consciousness. Eventually, even the elites who, the dark magicians who rule the world, even they will eventually suffer for their group think. In fact, they already suffer for their group think because they can't see the whole truth. They think they know the truth because of their traditions and their secret knowledge, but true knowledge comes from within, like I say, and that's what Jesus said. He got his message from God, who was within him and within every one of us. So, yeah, the truth comes from within. The real self, that's when you're connected to your real self. Unfortunately, most people who grew up in the world get their body snatched, so to speak. Invasion of the Body Snatchers talks about it. Many movies talk about it, and I want to do the video on that again. But yeah, so that's what happened to the Germans. They believed that they were superior to others because of their racial stock. But it can also be mental and intellectual. Many liberals today think they're better than me because of my beliefs contradict and are demonized in their belief system that they follow. So it's the same thing, They were socialists, we're socialists, or Americans are socialists, and socialism is all about, suppressing the common man in the name of freeing the common man. These liberals will tell you how they're standing up for the rights of all these poor, marginalized people, and that's why we have this political correctness nonsense. And even in educational system, it's like the kids are taught more about what not to do, all the bad words, all the bad ideas, rather than how to think and how to accept all ideas and learn from them and understand what the truth is through them. instead of suppressing, you know? But yeah, when you get trapped by the false self and this pseudo-intellectual culture of these liberals, you will you'll definitely get entrapped by the false self, you know? You'll believe that you're superior because of your new religion of veganism or of, you know, I don't know, not saying anything related to race at all, as if that makes you a better person, by being ignorant of the differences between different groups of people, and mainly their cultures, which is why they act the way they do. So yeah, there's a false self that is created by false leaders who are enabled by the sheeple, the people who are in their false consciousness because of materialism and lack of spiritual pursuits, or lack of that inspiration within. And that wouldn't be a problem if we were in the natural system. People are generally not, scholarly. Only older people and people who have been through many struggles have been really the best, greatest seekers of truth. But if we were living in our natural system, like supposedly like animals, we wouldn't have a problem being ignorant, because false leaders could not get so out of control as they are in this artificial system where they have police, they have armies and so forth, and the people are kept divided and confused. So because we are in an artificial system, we are exploited by the few. The many exploited by the few. But all is not lost for the individual, because there is great freedom in knowing the truth and living your life on your own terms. Of course, you'll be abused for that, but you have to be strong to be free, because freedom isn't free. So anyway, just some thoughts I had about political nonsense. I'm not saying the conservatives are great, because they're also brainwashed, but at least they're not pushing all this anti-human culture of postmodernist thought, which was originated by thought centuries ago.
Proceed about 9/10 of a mile to California.
And many people try to stop it, but they all got murdered while they were young, or taken away by strange diseases. So anyway, as long as I'm alive, I can hopefully follow in their tradition, unless I'm mistaken myself by my false self. But anyway, yeah, so I just wanted to give you an example of how groups are set up against each other. The squares versus the stoners from college, or women versus men. All these groups are being set up against each other, and all this divide and conquer is no good, and it all stems from group consciousness, because individually you should know that you're not the group, you're different, and you are an individual person, and all the customs of the group, like I try to show with the urges video of Ayurveda, all these customs are not really meant to help you, although originally in the natural system there were customs that would help us, because we all knew each other. We could follow these rules and know these rules were for our benefit, but in this artificial system, not everyone feels these rules are for our benefit. And even in the natural system, these rules don't benefit the few psychopathic, deviant types who probably come from the other side and are there always on Earth. So the natural system does not favor them because they get singled out very easily. But like in the invasion of the body snatchers, in the artificial system, the good people, the natural people who listen to their own souls and who listen to God's word, God's natural laws, now they are targeted and they are suppressed. So that's why most of the people are miserable, but the truth is out there and they don't want to follow it. So it's a catch-22. And yeah, the truth is out there. And long video already, 11 minutes. And I want to keep these unorganized videos short. So take care, and until my next video, see you later.